Welcome to the 7 Minutes with Lex at Real Double Dose channel. That's hashtag RDC. This is Lex, your host, everything in between. You can check us out even more from everything that's going to be rolling out at hashtag Real Double Dose channel. But that's www.realdoubledosechannel.com, as well as the other syndication that we have out here. Thank you for listening. That's iHeart, iTunes, Pandora, Stitcher, Spreaker, Google Cast, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, Spotify, and many, many more, as well as check us out on SoundCloud, where we have our links, and realdoubledosechannel.blogspot.com, as well as yandex.com. That's Real Double Dose Channel at yandex.com, where you can reach out to us if you have. And don't forget, we have Flip the Switch at reborn.com for any inquiries and many, many more. And we're only going to get deeper. But right now, I want to say welcome to all who are new. Welcome to those on the journey. And I can't wait to give you some of the double, triple, double doses on here with the 7 Minutes with Lex, because it's always about the Lex effect. Let's get into this too. Boom. Let's go. Welcome all new and those who have been with us. Thank you so much for your listening ears, and we hope that you're tuning in. Remember to check us out at realdoubledosechannel.com, as well as our new one rolling out, and that is lexeffectcoaching.com, and many, many more that we'll have available for you. But right now, this might be, and I'm just going to say 10 minutes with Lex. It depends where we go, but it is a 7 minute with Lex. You know how I roll. We're trying to get used to this, but I want to ask you a question, and that's hashtag what's your stone soup story? Okay, what's the story of your stone soup? Let's get there. So the question I have in mind is exactly that. Now I'm gonna read the story to you as they have it online. So just don't quote me. This is what I'm reading. Once upon a time, there was a great famine, which means there wasn't enough food to go around. The people in one small village, okay, didn't have enough to eat, and definitely not enough to store away for the winter. People were afraid their families would go hungry, so they hid the small amounts of food they did have. They even hid their food from their friends and neighbors. One day, a wandering soldier came into the village. He asked the different people he met about finding a place to eat and sleep for the night. There's not a bite to eat in the whole county, they told him. I think it's county. You better keep moving on. Oh, I have everything I need, he said. In fact, I would like to make some stone soup to share with all of you. He pulled a big black cooking pot from his wagon. He filled it with water and built a fire under it. Then he reached slowly into his knapsack, and while several villagers watched, he pulled a plain gray stone from a cloth bag and dropped it into the water. By now, hearing about the magic stone, most of the villagers were surrounding the soldier and his cooking pot. As the soldier sniffed the stone soup and licked his lips, the villagers began to overcome their lack of trust. Ah, the soldier said aloud to himself, I do like a tasty stone soup. Of course, stone soup and cabbage is even better. Soon a villager ran from his house into the village square holding a cabbage. I have this cabbage from my garden, he said as he held it out for the soldier. Fantastic, cried the soldier. The soldier cut up the cabbage and added it to the pot. You know, I once had stone soup with cabbage and a bit of beef, and it was delicious. The butcher said, the butcher said he thought he could find some beef scraps. As he ran back to his shop, other villagers offered bits of vegetables from their own gardens, potatoes, onions, carrots, celery. Soon the big black pot was bubbling and steaming. When the soup was ready, everyone in the village ate a bowl of soup, and it was delicious. The villagers offered the soldier money and other treasures for the magic stone, but he refused to sell it. He had many offers for a cot to sleep on that night. The next day, he traveled on his way. Now, this is adapted from the classic, folktale from the Amy Thompson folktale. But the question is, and what is the moral of the story itself? By working together with everyone contributing what they can, a greater good is achieved. Now, that was pretty deep. Now, I like that when I first heard it, and I know that it was probably said a little bit more of a deeper way that I could probably get it. But the purpose of the Stone Soup story is to teach the value of sharing and working together, for one, the community that story shows that people can have more together, than they can separately. Cooperation. It shows the story demonstrates that people can accomplish a lot when they work together. Sharing. The story teaches that sharing is a necessary part of life and makes everything better. And openness. Definitely openness. The story shows how the stories we tell and the language we use can shape reality. Now, the reason why I thought it was pertinent, important to share that is because I want to know to all of us who is sharing the stone soup, like who really is sharing the stone soup. And are we making the stone soup there? Like, are we getting to the point where we're so over the top, bitter or standoffish or kind of, like the villagers were, hey, we're going to keep everything for ourselves. You might as well keep moving on. There's nothing for you here. And he was like, oh, that's fine. I'm good. Was the stone magic? No, it was magical in the sense of what he wanted the reality of that stone to be. He knew the possibilities behind that stone based on his accountabilities and actions towards the reality of that stone. But as this conversation made them look at what kind of soup this is going to be with the stone, they didn't even unconsciously start putting their recipe together. They wanted to add a little something so they could just taste the magic from the stone. But they already tasted it for the fact that they encountered the person who was even making the story about stone soup. You see what I'm saying? Let your story be so suave. Let it be so deep, truthful reality that you manifest and you turn any lingo you want into your own magical stone soup. And let those who will be a part of your circle or part of your life contribute to those things, be a part of those things in some way. Not give me this if you're be a part of this, or I did this for you. It's more like everyone in your circle, or if you come across, should always have an asset to them and not be a liability. Liabilities happen, you get into problems, you get broke, you get hurt, you get betrayed and different things. And it doesn't mean to keep your guard too high, but keep your senses open. Keep your connection with God first and foremost, and you'll have a radar and detector for everything coming your way. But what is the story of your hashtag stone soup? What is the story of your hashtag, the story of your stone soup? Who is adding to that pot of the beautiful magic of a stone that you are, or you can believe it? It doesn't matter where it is that you're talking about applying it in your life. It has to be done so. Even if I'm all alone, you're never alone. But if you are, add to whatever you want that pot of soup to be. Do you want carrots? Do you want cabbage? Do you want to add the beef? Do you want the celery? Do you want the onions? What do you want to put in there to make it so delicious that it's a story that you cannot hold back to tell or let alone to share? And also, those who are a part of it, make them feel a part of the magic so they can release the confines of them not being in a community of openness and understanding and different things. Your message to the masses should be that always you are a walking billboard sign. Not to be subconscious if you have a stain of mustard on your clothes after lunch or what's going on, even though you should be trying to, just dust your shoulders off a little bit when you go out there presentable, especially a child of God. But just having your stuff, not the religious mindset way to be a cookie cutter, this is what I should look like and act like, but the truth of what it is the God within me. Okay. And that's another episode coming out. I'm just saying, remember all these things and more. And try to have some sense of understanding that where you are, somebody just was. And from whatever position you left, someone wants real bad. And whatever it is, there's always someone behind us or in front of us, but it's about the God force enlightenment and magic that you put into the story of your stone. See, he knew something they didn't. And that is all the ways that you're acting right now, whether it be you within yourself or them, all that can be alleviated if you start having a little bit more trust to the journey that's here and adding a little bit more of your sprinkles of faith and belief. And then eventually we'll all have a bowl of soup to eat, or you'll just be sitting there as one chunky cat with a big old soup bowl by yourself, smiling and letting people know the recipe. You never know. So however you want to cut and slice it is there. Remember to be the change, feel the passion, embrace the power of the spirit that's calling and within you and thriving always and beyond. This has been almost 7 minutes with Lex. I'm not going to call it that. We're going to get better and better with time. Make sure you tune in to TSMA, True Seekers Mastermind Alliance, as well as Heck versus Hell every Friday and get that going on and much, much more to our upcoming guests and more. We love you. You're amazing. And we'll be back with you, Stone Soupy wise, very, very, very soon.